is so accurate. Oh, missed that one. Hey guys, Short Midget here. So I'm going to be doing a video on a Smith & Wesson. This is a 686 Revolver. This one is a friend of mine's and it's in .357 caliber. So of course it comes in, I've seen a lot of these Smith & Wessons come in these blue boxes, like a dark blue. So once we open that up, you'll see everything in here. It does have some manuals in here in the back portion, just like your safety stuff and probably registration and warranty stuff. All right, and here's the Revolver itself. This is the 6-inch barrel. Again, it is Smith & Wesson produced, and it is in stainless. So I really like the color on this. This is probably what I would pick as well. I'm not a huge fan of the snub nose type revolvers, so if I were to get one, I'd probably get, 6-inch just like this. Now, this is a 7-round capacity, which is pretty dope in my opinion. That an increase in capacity, there's no complaints with me, of course. The more rounds you can hold, the better. So the owner's got a couple of these 7-round speed clips, is what they're called. And basically, you just have to hold the cylinder tight, and when you pop them down in there, you'll twist, and it kind of clicks. And then they fall down the rest of the way in there. And of course, you're reloaded and you'd push your cylinder in and go to town. In terms of the ammo, this is the Hornady FTX ammunition. Those are 125 grain. And then in terms of just FMJ, I will be shooting the Norma. This is 158, so a little bit heavier, just a target load. These do come in heavyweight ammo, so you can get, about 200 grain, give or take. Hard cast ammunition. So there's not really a whole lot to say about revolvers. I mean, there's not much to them in terms of mechanics. That's partly why some people like them, because they're reliable. There's not a whole lot of moving parts. But we'll start from the bottom here. This grip here is rubber, and it does have the Smith & Wesson logo on it, which is pretty cool. Again, stainless steel finish. 7-round cylinder. To pop the cylinder open, you push forward on this button, I guess you could call it, and then you have to push open the cylinder manually. It doesn't drop open unless you kind of shake it, I guess. Seems nice and smooth. I don't know much about revolvers, but it's nice and smooth in terms of, the cylinder moving. It seems like it's a nicely made gun. To eject the cartridges, you push forward on this portion, and it basically just assists on dropping the cartridges so then you can reload. And I'll actually show you that here. So I will load the 7 rounds, pretend I shoot 7 rounds, and then you push up and you see it kind of assists them out, and then you can drop the casings. The sights on here are adjustable. It looks like elevation and windage, at least the back one. The front one is fixed, and it does have a red inlay on there. Insert, if you will. I will show you what they look like in a moment. Marked up here says Smith & Wesson 357 Magnum, and then over on this side it's trademarked and with the Smith & Wesson logo. Says down here it's Springfield, Massachusetts. I believe Smith & Wesson changed their location. I don't think they're in Massachusetts anymore because the state pretty much bans almost every single gun that they manufacture. I remember seeing, some articles about how they moved, because why would they want to stay in a state and give tax dollars to a state that regulates literally every firearm they produce? Forget what state they went to. I want to say it was like Tennessee or something like that, but you'd have to fact check me on that. But I did hear they were planning on moving. Okay, so I'm going to be shooting 2 cylinders of 7 rounds. That's 14 of Norma 357 Magnum. This, I don't have much experience behind this gun, so you got to kind of hold the cylinder and then twist it. And all but one fall in there. Now it is a double and single action, so I'm going to double check to make sure it's unloaded, of course. Double action, I'm going to guess 8 pounds. It's not all that bad. Between 8 and 10 is my best guess. Single action, I don't want to dry fire a whole lot, but it's pretty dang light. I want to say 2 pounds. Yeah, it's really light. There's no travel to it. I'll show you a close-up of how the trigger pull looks. But very comfortable to shoot. A 357 Magnum is probably the biggest pistol cartridge I've ever shot. It's not bad. Like, I could shoot it all day. It's not one of those that I would, get a sore wrist or palm. It's I shot 7 rounds out of it so far, but it's, a push into your palm, but nothing that I would see. I could shoot 100 rounds easy out of it and be just fine. Now, of course, like I said, you can't shoot 38 special, so some people will just want to stick with that. But in my opinion, 38 special is kind of whack. It's just pretty underpowered for a big gun like this. You know what I mean? Toting around 7 rounds of 38 special just seems kind of pointless when you could get 9mm, I guess even 40 or 45 in a semi-auto and have much higher capacity. Here's what it looks like close up. You can see the markings. Pretty cool looking revolver. There's the sights. So it does have kind of a Glock style box in the back in white, and then red on the front, or orange, kind of depends on, guess you ask. It looks red to me. So when you line it up, just like that. Now, it was shooting high for me consistently. I shot 7 rounds, so I didn't have a whole lot of time behind it, but like the first 3 or 4, I was high, and then I brought it down and then hit the rest of the cylinder. So for me, it was maybe 3-4 inches high, but they are adjustable. And, my eyes may acquire the sights differently compared to others, the person that owns it. But rubber grip, trigger pull, I want to say, again, 8 to 10 pounds on the double action. Seems pretty smooth. The single action is really where, there's like no play. Like, that is really good. Now, again, I don't know anything about revolvers, but that trigger is pretty impeccable. So that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else to cover on this thing, just a short video. So I'm going to be shooting that ram target right there at about 50 yards, and then that sideways silhouette out there is 75.